Hello and welcome. My name is Jessica. I'm a fully qualified maths teacher, and today we're going to look at finding the area of trapeziums. Okay, now the first things first, there are two main kinds of trapeziums they'll give you in your exam. There's this one, which is the rooftop trapezium, and there is this trapezium. Okay, so they could give you either one of those in your exam. You need to be able to recognize it and you need to be able to know the formula. It is not given as far as I'm aware. So we have these two trapeziums. Let's do them again. So we have this one. Oh, that's even better, isn't it? Look, straightens it for me. Because my lines are very wobbly. It does take a wee while though. And I don't think I have that amount of patience. So you have to just bear with the wiggles. So here's the two that they'll mainly give you. So these, we have our first one, rooftop trapezium, and then just a regular trapezium. So when you're finding the area of a trapezium is a half of A plus B times H. Remember in maths, brackets means multiply. Okay, so it's a half of A plus B times H, where A and B are our two parallel sides. Okay, so A and B are our two parallel sides, and H is the perpendicular. Okay, H is the perpendicular height. Okay, so the area of a trapezium is a half of A plus B times H, where A and B are your two parallel sides. Okay, so half of A plus B times H, where H is your perpendicular and A and B are your two parallel sides. Okay, so just rhyme that over with yourself. Let me do an example with you. So we'll call this example. They've given you this nice rooftop trapezium. They've told you this is 4 centimeters, 6 centimeters, 8 centimeters, 3 centimeters. Okay, and they'll say to you, find the area. Okay, so we know this is a trapezium and we know the formula. So do you remember it? Area equals a half of A plus B times H. You can put a wee multiplying sign in there between the bracket and the H if you wish, where A and B are your two parallel sides and H is your perpendicular. Okay, so area equals, so let's go and label these. A, B. Now which one's H? Is H the 3 or is H the 4? Well, we know from our formula that H is the perpendicular. Does two lines meeting at a right angle? No, so 3 centimeters is not the perpendicular height. It must be the 4, because do you see how it's meeting? That's our perpendicular height. That's our H. Okay, let's put these values in, substitute them in. A half of 6 plus 8 times my 4. Okay, so a half of our 6 plus 8 times our 4. So I work out the bracket bit first, so it's almost like applying your BIDMAS or BODMAS, whatever one you learned. So 6 and 8 is 14. So a half of 14 times 4. Area equals a half of 14 is 7 times 4, and 4 sevens are 20. Oops, cut it off there at the bottom. And now oh, there we go. 28, and it's centimeters squared. Okay, make that, zoom out so you can see it. So area equaled, we wrote our formula first, half of A plus B times H. Then we went and we found our numbers and substituted or replaced those with our letters. Okay, our letters replaced with our numbers. So a half of A, which is 6, B, which was 8, times our height, perpendicular height, which was 4. Then remember, just take your maths in wee small amounts. Okay, do not get overwhelmed by it. Just take little small parts at a time. So then it became a half of 6 plus 8. Okay, so to do that in your head, you can think, right, well, 6 and 6 is 12. 6, 7, 8. There's 2 between 6, or 8 take away 6 is 2. So 6 is 12, add 2 more, 14. So then I just wrote that. I didn't do it in my head, just write it down. Half of 14 times your 4. Half of 14 is 7 times your 4, and 4 sevens are 28. Do not forget your centimetres squared, okay? Let's do another one. So this time we'll go with this. We'll say that this is 6 centimetres, 4 centimetres, and we'll say 2 centimetres. So you'll say, okay, find the area of this trapezium. Or they might just say, find the area of the shape below. Area equals half of A plus B times H, where A and B are your two parallel sides and H is your perpendicular. Okay, so you can go ahead and label those. Area equals a half of 4 plus 6 times 2. Area equals a half, 4 and 6 is 10, times 2. Area equals half of 10 is 5, times 2. So area equals 10 centimetres squared. Okay, everything's easy when you know how. Next one, say they said find the area of the below shape. So we'll say 6 centimetres, 8 centimetres, and let's go for 4 centimetres. Okay, so again, this is a trapezium. It's just a little bit different looking. So area equals a half of A plus B times H every single time. Okay, so the more you write this formula, it is going to ingrain in your head. Plus, listening to this video, it'll be rhyming out in your sleep. So A equals a half of A and B, which you know are your two parallel sides. A, B, and H is the perpendicular, okay? If they were to label this in your exam, that is not going to be the perpendicular height, okay? You remember that perpendicular is when two lines meet at a right angle. So a half of A, which is 4, A and B can be either way round. I just tend to do the top one to be A, the first side to be A. Doesn't matter, it's your two parallel sides, so you can say those in whatever order you wish. So 4 plus 8 times our height, which is 6. So area equals a half of 8 and 4, which is 12, times 6. Area equals half, oops, didn't mean to do that, sorry. So half of 12, which is 6, times 6. So area is 36 centimetres squared. Okay, and that's how you find the area of trapeziums. So hopefully that wasn't too bad and you're able to do those successfully. If you have any questions, don't forget you can comment below, and hopefully you find this worthwhile listening to. Take care, and I wish you all the very best.